AITA for refusing to let my estranged brother move in after our mother's death. I, 32F, grew up in a small Midwestern town, the eldest of two. My younger brother Jake, 28 million, was everyone's favorite. He had a magnetic personality, a huge smile, and an easy way with people. He was the kind of kid teachers adored and parents bragged about. Our dad left when Jake was 6 and I was 10. He disappeared into the void of failed child support and vague social media updates. That's when things changed. Our mom started working 2 jobs, waitressing during the day, cleaning offices at night, and I stepped in where I could. I packed Jake's lunches, helped him with homework, and kept the house running. Mom never said it aloud, but I think she leaned on me more than she should have. I stopped going to sleepovers. I quit volleyball because it clashed with her work schedule. But I didn't complain. Jake was a sweet kid, and I loved him. By the time Jake was in high school, things were different. He'd grown tall, charming, athletic. He started hanging with a flashier crowd. I remember walking into the living room one night to find him laughing with friends, joking about how I acted like a second mom. He didn't mean it cruelly, but it stung. Still, I cheered him on when he got into a fancy private university on the East Coast. Full ride. He was the first in our family to go out of state. I helped him pack. I even stayed up late Googling subway maps so he wouldn't get lost his first week. The night before he left, I hugged him and told him how proud I was. He promised to call. He didn't. The first few weeks after Jake left, I figured he was adjusting. Then weeks turned into months. Then a full year. Calls went unanswered. Texts left on read, Facebook messages ignored. Mom took it harder than I did. Every missed birthday, every holiday spent without him, it wore on her. I saw it in the way she lingered by her phone, how she folded his laundry and left it in his room for months after he left. I reached out over and over. At first, friendly. Miss you, Jake. Let's FaceTime soon. Then pleading. Mom really misses you. Just give her a call, even 5 minutes. Then firm. This silence is hurting her. You owe her more than this. No response. We watched him from afar, Instagram posts with new friends, stories from college parties, pictures from spring break in Cancun. He looked happy. He looked nothing like the brother I'd grown up with. Mom got sick my second year of graduate school. Breast cancer. I dropped out and moved home. We spent her final years fighting insurance, battling chemo side effects, and trying to hold the household together. She never stopped hoping Jake would come home. Even when she was too weak to speak, she'd whisper, "Has Jake called?" He hadn't. I messaged him again a week before she passed. "This is serious. Come home." Silence. She died without ever hearing from him. He didn't come to the funeral. After Mom passed, I packed up the house, handled the estate, and returned to the city. It took months to unravel all the medical bills, leftover paperwork, and years of emotional baggage. Grief is strange, not loud and sharp, but heavy and constant, like trying to swim with wet clothes. Life slowly resumed. I got a job in marketing, met my now husband Mark, adopted a scruffy rescue dog named PETA. I built a life I liked. And then, almost 3 years later, Jake emailed me. It was short. 2 paragraphs. He said he was sorry for the past, that he'd gone through some hard stuff, and he hoped I was doing well. He asked if he could crash with me for a while, just until he got back on his feet. I stared at the screen for hours. No, I'm sorry I missed Mom's funeral. No explanation for the radio silence. Just, "Hey, can I stay with you?" My chest burned. I didn't respond right away. I called Mark. I called my therapist. I journaled. Finally, I replied with a carefully worded message. "Jake, I'm open to reconnecting, but I can't have you move in right now. If you're serious about rebuilding our relationship, let's start by meeting up and talking." He responded within the hour. It wasn't kind. Jake accused me of holding a grudge, said I was punishing him for things he didn't know how to deal with at the time. He said he thought about calling during Mom's illness but couldn't face the guilt. That by the time he wanted to come home, he felt too far gone. He also said this. "You always thought you were better than me. You loved playing mom, didn't you? Well, guess what? You're not my mother." That one hit hard. I never wanted to be his mom. I had to be. Because someone had to. I skipped my teenage years so he could have a childhood. And now he was throwing that in my face? I told him I was sorry he was struggling, but I wasn't comfortable letting him stay with me. I offered to help with a few nights at a hotel. He refused. Said if I wouldn't take him in, I clearly didn't care. I didn't respond. A few days later, I started getting calls from relatives, mostly on my dad's side, who Jake had apparently reconnected with recently. My aunt left me a voicemail saying, "You know he's family, right? You don't just turn your back on your own." Another cousin messaged me on Facebook. I know things were rough back then, but he's your brother. He needs you now. You're being cold. Then Jake posted on social media, not naming me directly, but everyone could read between the lines. It's crazy how people will act like saints during a funeral but slam the door in your face when you need them. Trauma works both ways, but some folks only care when they get to play the victim. My blood boiled. I hadn't slammed any doors, I set a boundary, I asked for a conversation, I offered to help in another way, but somehow I was the villain. A week after the post, I sat down and made a list. 2 columns, reasons to let Jake stay. He's my brother. He's homeless. Mom would have wanted us to reconcile. Reasons not to. He abandoned us during a critical time. He hasn't taken accountability. He turned the family against me. I don't feel emotionally safe with him. The second column was longer. I didn't feel good about the choice, but I felt clear. I wrote Jake one last message. I hope things turn around for you. I really do. But I can't offer my home as a shelter right now. Not when there's so much unresolved between us. If you ever want to sit down and talk, genuinely talk, my door is open for that, but not to live here. Not yet. He never replied. That was 6 months ago. Jake hasn't reached out again. I still get the occasional cold shoulder from extended family, but most people have stopped talking about it. I haven't checked his social media in months. I don't know if he got help, found a place, or is still bouncing around. I think about Mom a lot. Would she be disappointed in me? Or would she understand? I'd like to think she'd want me to protect my peace. That she wouldn't want me to reopen wounds that haven't healed. But there's a part of me, a small, still voice, that whispers, you should have done more. So, Reddit, AITA, for not letting my brother move in, even though he's struggling and alone. TLDR. My brother abandoned our family for years, didn't return during our mom's illness or funeral, and now wants to move in with me after falling on hard times. I refused, but offered to reconnect slowly. He reacted angrily and made me look like the bad guy. AITA,